welcome back to another episode of the G's for Geek podcast.
This is your host, Charlie Radio Williams, and this is Seanluc.
Welcome back to another episode of the G's for Geek podcast.
We are live.
We're live?
We're live, right?
Why do you guys always do that? We're live.
Because it's live. Even though it's not live because, it's a podcast.
You guys disturb me. You bothered me.
How are we bothering you?
You just both bothered me. All right.
Explain.
You know what? Just shoot yourself.
First of all, don't even play yourself. Because you went ahead and kidnapped someone today just so you wanted to have a guest on the show today.
Yeah, he should have watched what he was drinking. Cosby. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the G is for Geek podcast. I'm your host, Charlie Radio Williams.
And this is Seanluc.
And we are joined by our quirky but sometimes need to be fired technician, Hannibal.
What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
And on this episode of the G is for Geek podcast, I am excited to have on the show my favorite person in the world. I mean, we did a podcast with them before, but it never made it to the light of day because there was a lot of audio issues. But we decided we wanted to have him back on so we didn't feel like we were wasting his time. As you can tell by my voice, I am super excited as well.
You out of breath?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, clearly.
It's okay.
But
it's because of the lack of sex he's been having.
Before I introduce this person,
spicy.
A little bit of jet rubbed off on me.
Before I introduce this person, speaking about a lot of sex going on, last week we had your beloved wife on, and she was awesome to have on as a guest, Hannibal.
Yeah.
And we just let you know
she was great.
We can never have that happen again.
I'm gonna leave soon. Do you guys have any room? I can hang out with you.
I think I can put you in my couch.
All right, cool.
First of all, I felt sorry for her. You are super hill.
Yeah, it seemed like it. But you know how a woman can bring the worst out of you?
Apparently, she brought the worst out of you, sir.
Yeah.
Can we introduce our guest now, considering
I was doing a recap on the last show.
You literally bound and tied the guy.
That's how
we were teasing. You gotta wait a while. Yeah. Okay.
No teases.
Yeah.
No teasing. Okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, writer behind the comic book series, the new comic book series, World's Greatest, we have with us Joe Clements.
Thank you.
Yay.
Normally, this is where we would just press a button and there'd be a
the sound effects. Sound effects guy has had a month off already.
Yeah.
Wow. So welcome back, Joe.
Great to be back.
See, I hate your goddamn voice, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, this big, strong, brolic brick house, dude, with his WPLX voice.
I feel a little objectified, but
you should.
Yeah, I think you might need an adult.
You walking down the street screams, "Objectify me!" I'm sorry.
How does that say that?
Well, it does.
No, it doesn't.
It clearly does.
I don't think Charles is wrong.
See?
Wait.
I don't think it's wrong.
Hannibal's sitting right next to him. Don't you feel intimidated?
No.
I don't really feel intimidated, but I feel protected. Like, something happens, he can take care of it.
Doesn't he look like our own personal Mark Henry?
Okay, guys, he's right there.
He's just like...
Okay, let me be the objective one here, which is a little weird considering.
Considering.
And say, welcome to the show. I'm glad you're here.
Welcome back to the show.
Welcome back officially. Let's actually just go over some stuff that we were able to try and go over.
No, screw that. We're going to talk about Sir Chocolate Love over there. What? No? Okay.
Right. No, let's talk about the man's comic. That's what he's kidnapped.
Well, we have time. We have time to get into that part. Like, this, ladies and gentlemen, if you're joining G's for Geek podcast, as you know, this is a show with two geeks who likes to share their lives and shoot the shit about being geeks in their lives. This is not your typical podcast where we talk about, cons and comic books. I mean, we add it in there, but we also
considering we just had a Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con,
and that's what
episode.
I'm saying. We like to also share things about our lives and talk about our lives. Kind of like a question that Han posted earlier about which one of us, well, other than Han, because he's married and he's trying to escape his wife.
I'm trying to leave as soon as possible. Can anyone give me a lawyer?
So which one of us?
I know a guy.
Thank you.
Out of you and me, Sean, if one of us got into a relationship, which one of us would dip from SFS or would be a phantom?
I think it would be you.
Why? Because
unlike me, who is the former Latin lover, who have courted many a female. Okay. You, Charles, from what I've gathered, has had a little struggle out there So when you finally snatch Miss
Yeah,
Right,
fuck you guys. Like,
when you finally snatch Miss Right,
you said snatch?
yeah,
Like,
snatch. Because apparently you love kidnapping people now.
Oh,
wow.
When you snatch Mrs. Right, you're not gonna let her go, and you're gonna try and be with this person.
What that word, Mrs. Right? I don't think there's ever a Mrs. Right. I think that we just meet people that their baggage. To quote the movie Rent, I'm looking for somebody whose baggage goes with mine. So I guess you can say that is Mrs. Right, but I don't believe in it. Right. I feel like that's too high of an expectation.
Yeah.
Joe, what about you?
I think Mrs. or Mr. Right is just kind of like really objectified. Everyone looks for.
Fuck that. He slings dick all the time. Look at this tall motherfucker. He looks like he's slinging dick. All right.
Okay, could you not cut him off and let the man finish speaking?
People can't see what he look like. Yeah, he like a slinging dick motherfucker. Like if he
okay. Anyway, continue.
Right.
It's you know what? I'm gonna comment on that in a minute.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say that I think that for most people, Mr. and Mrs. Right is pretty objectified. To a point where for most it's just Mr. and Mrs. Right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
That's what I'm trying to get.
Yeah, I like that. That's respectable.
Now, comment on his bullshit.
It's funny that you would actually think that I get so much women.
Dick comes down to his ankles.
Truth be told,
wait, you said truth be told, your dick comes down to your ankles?
I was
stop gloating right
Shut
now.
up and let the man speak.
I was actually took a vow of being a monk for 5 years actually.
Ooh,
Oh,
really?
how far are you in? How
going?
far are you into your monkdom?
Well, it's kind of over now.
It's over.
Oh, so now he's gonna be slinging dick left and right.
Sorry. Wait, it's over now?
Yeah.
Who was she?
It was
There you go. Yeah, who was she?
a chick from my job.
Come
Oh,
on, homie. You don't smash a homie from the job.
Don't listen to him.
Yeah,
I've known people to smash homies from the job and they actually got married like once, like a couple years ago.
Like
that's
a
rare
fairy
though.
tale.
That's rare though. Wait, was she like Quinn? Was she or he? I just want to make sure. Like, I don't know your preference.
I did say she.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, he kind of. That's the first thing he said.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Was she like on her way out the job, like she was quitting, or like you guys still work together?
She eventually quit. A few months later.
She was like, "Oh, this dick. Oh, I can't work in the same building as this dick. This is going to be a raunchy episode. I told you, I love having this guy on the show. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like,
See, like a certain energy that
you're
he's bringing
belittling
out of
the
you.
brother every chance you get.
How am I
Do
belittling
not
him?
make me get Jet. I have his number.
how am I belittling him? All right, he looks like Jet.
He does not look
Same
like Jet.
height.
No.
Dick comes down to his ankles.
No.
I can see that shit coming out
First
of
of all,
it's coming out of his pants right
First
now.
of all, when did you see Jet's dick?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's not.
It's like one.
First of all,
he's so fearful, he's aroused by him.
it's not. It's not when did I see his dick? It's when did he make me watch it? Look at his dick. There's a difference there.
Oh,
Right. All right.
All right. I'll say this episode's going off the rails. You want to get back to the art?
Yeah,
You
let's
still
bring
have
it-
more
let's-
questions about?
No, we do have more questions. So how's it been going, sir?
So far, so good.
And you, we used to wrestle. You're under the name.
I used to wrestle under the name Riodon.
Okay.
Word.
And we've kind of talked about this in the past that you used to wrestle
we have.
the Latin lover over here.
We had one match.
Is there any
Yes.
footage of the match anywhere?
There is.
God, I hope not.
Actually, I think there is.
There
Is it
I would
still
love
on the
to
site?
There is some footage.
I would love to
Is it still on the site?
Probably not on the site. I think they did a DVD, a separate DVD.
Okay.
So we have like a few.
I think I still have some of the raw footage. So if anything, we could just pull that.
I need to
interested.
take a photo of you guys because you guys are like too young but super retired.
First of all, let me tell you something.
Super
No.
retired.
Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story about this motherfucker right here. Okay? We were doing a 3-month promo. Right? We were promoting each other for 3 months. We were setting up everything in the story. This motherfucker out of nowhere decides to do a promo by the water. Right? And cuts one of the best fucking promos I have ever seen in my life.
Hey.
To the point where he stifled me and I could not compete with that. And to that I say, fuck you and congrats.
For you being the face over there, you're cursing way too much.
Well, this is not the face talking. This is the Latin lover, Sean Rivera, talking to my former opponent, Riodon, that if I didn't get injured, probably would have been a tag team.
Wait, so if you guys could cut a promo right now, just for our fans, how would you cut your promo? Can we get a taste of that? Can we get a taste of that?
I don't know if we can do that.
Can we get a taste?
You know what? Let's see you later on.
No. Let's get this out the way now. Let's get this out the way now.
Let us get into our mode.
Cool.
Because it's been a while.
It has.
Because I tried cutting a promo with you guys the last time he was on, and once again that didn't happen.
Well, maybe because you suck at cutting promos.
Did you embarrass yourself when you did it?
First of all, Hannibal.
I'm asking a question. It was just a question. I don't know. I wasn't there.
All right, let me answer the
there.
man's questions first. First of all, we don't know what I sounded like. All right, and for Halloween, I'm going as a wrestler. I'm ordering my wrestling outfit.
Big E.
Now, I wanted to do Big E. I keep saying I wanted to do Big E. I don't have enough time to grow out my hair. All right, I don't have enough time.
Go ahead, be viscera. Be naked viscera.
You know what? I'm not gonna touch that one. All right, but I'm just saying, like, what do you mean? All right, you guys make me feel real uncomfortable right now. I feel like you're objectifying me.
I think we need to make Charlie Radio Williams' calendar now.
I think so too.
First of all, Charlie Radio
wrestlers in like one piece skimpy outfits.
Radio has no problem doing a calendar.
Yeah, so he's ready.
All right, you want cheeks? I give you cheeks. You want a little bit of bulge? Give you some bulge.
No, we don't want that.
Man hair, chest meat, got a lot of it. I'm not afraid to cut
chest meat.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to do a calendar.
Chest meat.
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
I'm not afraid to do a calendar.
It's really best not to ask.
Yeah, I won't. Let's move on.
No, but it's good to hear, JoJo, that you've been doing. It's JoJo. I call him JoJo.
Yeah,
it's good that you've been working hard on World's Greatest. I know that you're just releasing World's Greatest issue 2. I do have some questions for you, and you notice how the tone changed in the room? Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, because when we were at Comic-Con and we were interviewing different artists, for the guests out there that don't know, if you go to the Geektopians YouTube page, you can see Sean's Geektopians presents Quickotopians version of us covering NYCC. But one of the things I was thinking about is, what are some of the challenges being the writer behind a book? Because I know you're partnering with artists to do the work, but what is that like where you're the writer and you're the one coming up with it and you're trying to get your book out there, but where most people look for the artist, they don't really give attention to the writers. What is that like for you so far?
So far, actually being the writer is probably one of the best part about it. Being able to use a wide variety of my creativity as well as adapt to the creativity of others, and to kind of incorporate that. The only issue that I usually have is always I don't have a lot of people to bounce my ideas off of, so it's always pretty complicated, trying to figure out whether or not I'm entertaining enough. So second guessing myself is always a biggest challenge that I face now. Mm-hmm. That and going from being a novelist to a script writer kind of sucks. Script writing, as I've used to take it as kind of a really a no big deal kind of thing, but I start to really understand what a lot of the script writers go through, setting the scene, setting the background, setting the characters, and so forth. And it's pretty challenging trying to get that in and convert that from being a novel.
All right, interesting. So, a quick question. I guess your writing process, what inspires you? What kind of stories are you interested? Are you most excited to write about? What are those kind of like I said, those stories that you put into this comic? Yeah, what are your favorite kind of stories?
I've always been a big Marvel and DC fan. Mm-hmm. And I love, the Venomverse is actually one of my biggest it's definitely one of my biggest motivations. Mm-hmm. But at the same time I also try to get it a little bit different. I've also was raised off of Eastern illustration, so I take into a lot of martial arts and kind of a lot of anime, and just trying to incorporate that in a more Western field, or sometimes even putting it together.
Right, that's cool. Sean, you jumped up when you said Venom.
I'm a huge fan of Venom, and I've been actually paying attention to the entire Venomverse, as well as the upcoming Planet Venom that's coming up. Oh my God, that's going to be amazing.
Look forward to it.
So I'm a huge fan. So that's why, and I'm looking at the comic. I'm actually reading, because that's what we do around
Well,
here.
JoJo did bring in several books.
And thank you for that. It's awesome.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
No problem.
All right. So I know Sean is reading and he's building us some questions. I know Hannibal has more questions. I have a serious question for you again. So how often when you are promoting yourself, do you be like, hey girl, I'm a writer. Here's my comic book. And check this out. Like, have you ever like promoted yourself and was like, because I've done that in the past where I was kind of like, yeah, girl, I'm a
Has
artist.
that
How did that work out? How did that work out?
I paint.
Has that actually succeeded?
That has never succeeded.
It's never succeeded in the way that I wanted to. Like
Right.
a few years ago, I was doing a paint series that Carla was a part of it.
Yeah.
Called the Broken Glass series, where I was painting women semi-nude, and I really enjoyed the project because it was the first time like I was like stepping out of my own comfort zone to like try to paint portraits, but in a very I guess you say, what is it called? Not China, cubic expression way, but it fell through because it just took a lot of effort and a lot of energy.
Right.
But that was like the first time, hey, I'm an artist and I'm working on a project. Do you mind if I paint you? And people were like, cool. And they took me serious as an artist.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to know like what it's like to be like, hey girl, I'm an artist. Yeah.
That's not a good way to approach it. You gotta be more
No. Well, have you this is a question for both of you. Have you ever been like, hey girl, I'm a wrestler. Dick. Here's dick right here. Suplex.
I'm not gonna lie. I've done that before.
See,
I actually have not.
What? The Land Lover has never did a promo to a chick?
So here's the thing. And you're going to laugh at this. All right? Because this is going to be a strong confession time. Okay? I have banged females because they liked wrestlers. They're called ring rats. Okay? I've banged a few ring rats. Okay, but I've never actually actively said, hey girl, what's up? My name is Sean. I'm a wrestler.
Because they're already there.
What's up?
They're already
in
the periphery.
Were you
Yeah,
like the lead singer, like when you were in the ring, were you like the lead singer on stage, or like you would go to the edge of the rope and look in the crowd and do the wink, like come on.
I would do that normally. My character actually does that.
Like wait for me till the end of the show.
But that's the thing, like that's the part that killed people because that's my character. That was my character. The Land Lover was always that womanizing, fun-loving Latino that would always, go and like entertain the women, whether they're young, old, in the middle, as long as they're above 18, right? And that would be, the gimmick. If they were teenagers, I ain't touching them.
Thank you for clarifying that.
I have to.
Yeah.
Apparently, in this day and age, I have to.
But JoJo, for you, like any stories?
I've never actually succeeded in telling anyone that I'm a wrestler. I've gotten people interested, but never actually any success behind it.
So no wrestling rats?
No.
Ring rats.
I'm sorry, ring rats. Ring rats.
Wrestling ring rats.
Ironically enough, I have gotten some chicks who wanted to go out with me just because they found out that I was a monk. So that was kind of funny. And I had to kind of like turn them down because I'm like, yeah, no.
That's crazy. Like, how is it okay? As a monk, right? And I have to ask this because I have to think of this on a spiritual level. Do you believe that kind of stuff was just simple temptation from the universe to try and break your oath?
Probably. I think what it is that for most people are more interested in things that is a little bit beyond their grasp.
Okay, that's pretty deep.
That's everyone.
I also know you, so I can imagine that conversation going like this. Like, hey, girl, I'm a monk. I'm practicing being a monk, so I'm celibate. And you normally don't put your personal information out there, so I can't see you having a conversation where it's like, yeah, I was slinging dick in the past. So I feel like
how many times we said dick so far in this show?
So it's a shoot the shit show. So I feel like when they
apparently the name of this episode is Slinging Dick.
Slinging Rich. Slinging Rich. So I feel like what happened was you were like, hey girl, I'm a practicing monk, and she was like, ooh, he's a virgin. Challenge.
Yeah.
Hey, you look like.
How does that even? How does monk equal virgin?
Well, you ever told a chick like, yo, like right now I'm not into like slinging rich, right?
Never.
And like she was like, word challenge.
So no, because I'm a whore.
Yeah. No, not at all.
Yo, when so I didn't lose my virginity to confessions until I was like 22, right? Because that was back in my I'm going to become a pastor days.
And you want a confession? I didn't lose mine until I was 18.
Me too.
But I did. I ate when I was 13.
Damn. You was buffeting it?
Yeah.
I was buffeting it around like 19.
I thought that was gross at 13. I'm like,
no, I had my first lick at 13.
This is gonna be
had my first full buffet at 14. But I didn't lose my virginity till 18.
We're going to call this Slinging Richards at the buffet.
Wow.
Basically. Actually, I have a question about the being a monk. Did that help you at all with your art in terms of writing, like that experience at all, or do you draw from that experience of, like I said, no temptation? I guess as a monk, you're not supposed to have sex, you're not supposed to drink. No.
Honestly, no, not as far as in creative wise.
Okay.
It never really helped in that, but it definitely helped in a lot of different other ways. I had a lot of anger management issues. I felt like I was really unfocused, and during the time frame, someone really close to me had died, and I felt like I didn't have anyone to really turn to. So I felt like I needed to be gravitate to it.
Right.
Sorry for your loss. Just want to put that out there.
Appreciate that.
I can relate because, as you know, like in the past, I was studying martial arts at, in my early teens into my early 20s. And I remember like there was this time frame where it was like, you don't have sex and you don't masturbate. It's called like building your chi, where like you want to reserve your energy. And the idea is that the seed of your life is a part of your energy. And then you just want to focus. And I feel like back then it was kind of like, oh, I get this. Like, I can move faster. I can move stronger. And then I was like, fuck this. I got to release this shit. I need a fucking outlet. Like, yeah. But I can imagine like it, like now at my age, I'm kind of like, I don't know. Or confessions. Number 2. I have this stupid thing. Like, I'm a grown man. I'm not going to act like I don't wink it. But
okay.
At least twice a year, I like to do a calendar test to see how far I can go. So the night before my birthday at 12 o'clock, I'll be like, okay, how far can I make it from me turning my new age to the next? And then if I fail, then I'm like, okay, the next time I'm going to do it is New Year's. So like after the ball drops, I'm like, okay, how long can I go from January 1st?
What's the longest you ever been?
So after my birthday, I'm a May baby. I've gone from the day of my birthday maybe to, I would say about like the mid of July. So I've done that.
That's decent. Decent.
And that's without being in a relationship too. Remember that. So, and remember that's the summertime. So that's when everybody's wearing
sundresses around.
Oh my god! So much.
All right. So you put yourself on the peak temptation.
The beginning of the year is a little bit easier because January 1st. I think the longest I've gone is like April, April, like this, like the third week of April. I've done that,
Yeah, I can't even.
Yeah, right. Not even a week.
I can't. The most I've done is probably 2 weeks, and out of that first week was because of a medical condition.
Handy, we know you're married. You don't even touch her.
I know. I mean, we could discuss more of my relationship, not issues, but my relationships later because that's a whole nother episode.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing. And don't get me wrong, your wife's awesome. She's cool.
No, she's terrible. No, she's great. She's great. Yeah. But there's some open stuff that I could talk about later. Open relationship stuff. That'll take an entire new episode. So we're not gonna get into it.
Anyway,
so let's circle this back around, Joe.
Yeah.
I just finished glancing it over, looking at it. One, the artwork is amazing. I actually do really like the artwork. 2, what gave you the inspiration to do World's Greatest?
World's Greatest originally was supposed to be a one-off.
Okay.
Back in 2012. The original comic was actually going to be called Supernova.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, I started to realize that there is already a comic book called Supernova. And So I did a lot of research into that and everything. And then after a while, it was just kind of like, you know what? If I'm going to start incorporating my work, I have to start from somewhere. And being that no one knows anything that I've been doing throughout the last several years beforehand, I figured, hey, you know what? Let's start with the next generation and kind of like tell the story from there. And from time to time, we might do one shots or whatever, just to kind of go backwards, just to show people a little bit more of the history of where everybody came from.
How long does this process usually take?
I'd say about maybe 6 months to a year.
Wow.
Are you sure? Because like, even though you say 2012, I know like it goes back way before 2012. And like you, like I've done projects similar to you, like even with Funny Pets, which is, you know, kind of how which is a I guess you can say, to Me, Myself, I, and the Monkey series, which is now the things I don't talk about. Like, I can see where you're like, there's a lot of things you're working on that people don't know, and they don't know how deep like the history goes as far as you, the artist, and how much like life you've put into these characters way before you even introduce them to the public. So I think like I can relate with you there. What do you think are some of the like the quirks behind that? Like one of the things like you're like that you have to hold back on when it comes to like really wanting people to get into your characters?
I think the easiest thing for me is telling the story of the new gen characters, you know, because they're still growing with the public. The older characters, like, you know, Abby, which is on the cover of the book, who is actually a character that I created back in 2001. Oh, and wow. Talking about her and the history behind her and why it was so devastating for when she lost her brother, and like all of that stuff actually has a lot more merit than people realize. And I will have to be the one to kind of convey that as the story unfolds.
Wow. Yeah, I wish I was Sean reading at the same time as he was talking. But I think, like you said, trying to get everyone to get used to these characters, your marketing or how you going to, putting this stuff out here. What is your strategies? What are you looking to do? Are you on like a Facebook? Are you doing Instagram? How are you pushing this out to the public as much as possible?
Well, I'm doing every form of social media that I can think of. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, the usual stuff. Yeah. Tumblr. I do actually have a website, jccomicsuniverse.com. And I'm even trying to go to local conventions. I'm trying to set up a booth for AnimeCon and back in November.
Nice.
Well, we're definitely gonna plug you on the show. So thank you for bringing in.
Thank you for being a good sport, because Charles is, I don't know what you were doing. The
show's not over.
You made it seem like it was.
But, I had to make sure that we could, because since you over here and bound and tied him up and whatnot.
Wait. So normally we do a pitch every episode, but this time, Sean, after you read the book, can you do the pitch for World's Greatest? And who are you pitching it to?
For the record, I'm not going to take away from the creativity that he has.
No. Represent him. Don't worry. I'm not. He doesn't know what a pitch is. Don't worry.
No.
Don't worry.
The word pitch, I think he knows.
Yeah, I think he knows what the word pitch is.
All right. Since Sean won't do it, I'll do it. So who should I do to? Netflix? Not Disney, right?
So wait, you want to produce this as a TV show?
Yeah. All right, I got it. I got this one.
Okay.
All right, here's my pitch for the week, all right? Hey, Mr. Perry. Mr. Tyler Perry. And your new studio. We was going to go to Netflix with this. We were going to go to Disney. We skipped over Fox. We thought about Sony, but we thought if there was any studio that we can get World's Greatest out there, it'd be your studio. I mean...
All right, so tell me, what do you want?
Is that you, Medea?
Yeah, is that how Tyler...
I gotta take care of his day-to-day operations.
All right. So again, I guess Medea, since you are representing or Hadia, because I don't know, you don't sound like Medea. All right. Since you are representing,
just go.
So, but yes, World's Greatest is going to be your next indie comic. It's going to be mainstream in the next 5 years. Introduced by Joe Clements, who is your African American artist, right? I mean, you're kind of mixed, right?
Yes.
I see.
Really?
I see your waviness. What? I see your waviness in there. Okay. Low-key, you know what? I'm done. You ruined the pitch. I can't even.
I mean, I wouldn't mind hearing that voice again.
Cora?
What do you mean? Nah, I can't do that again. It's so tough.
I was gonna go for Halloween dressed as Mr. Brown.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
High waters, a Hawaiian shirt with a rainbow.
So your normal Friday
and
outfit?
cowboy boots.
So your normal Friday outfit?
Cora, you need to stop that, Cora. For the good Lord grace. Yeah.
It sounds like you're stereotyping.
Ashley, what? That's what Mr. Brown
there's a person I know that I could just literally call him right now.
Would you stop with it?
Right? And he can literally put you in your place.
You're running the Jet joke way too much nowadays, right?
Yo, you calling Jet a joke, son?
Yeah, I am calling Jet a joke.
Oh, boy.
Let me call him right now.
Nah, you keep that over there. Anyway, Jojo, what's been going on recently with you, man?
Recently, I'm actually working on several different projects outside of Book 2 for World's Greatest.
Okay.
I'm actually working with another story called Vector Squad, which is actually going to be coming out around the same time of World's Greatest. It's about 6 military misfits that pretty much is forced together to kind of get a second chance at a lot of mistakes that they have made. And they're from, different parts of the world. So with culture, with the way they operate, as well as with their own perspectives in mind, they're kind of forced together to kind of be a team.
So is it like the A-Team meets the Planeteers?
It's more like the A-Team meets, what is it? Suicide Squad.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh.
I didn't want to say it, though.
Oh, I thought y'all was going to clown me for trying to make that joke, reference. It wasn't a joke.
Would you take an opportunity to go to like a con and promote your stuff?
Of course.
Okay.
We do have a question. Would you ever write an episode for the Geektopians?
I think I've always was interested
as Joe Clements,
but it's definitely a difficult thing.
How is it difficult? You have a great insight. You're like part geek, part machine, part cyborg.
I mean, you do have a great background in as far as like different geek cultures. Like you have experienced strong spirituality. You have immersed yourself in a world of wrestling, and you have put yourself out there as a creator, basically a content creator into the geek culture with the comics. So, all I'm saying for me as the host of the Geektopians, right?
And the face
of the Geektopians, just think about it. I'm pretty sure we can find an episode that's right up your alley.
Yeah.
Well, in the past, I've actually heard that you were supposed to be working with a writer by the name of...
No.
Cut that out.
No.
Did you say the word?
No, say the name. Say the name.
No.
Say the name.
Tragic car accident. I was standing right there when it happened.
Say the name. Say the name. Go ahead.
I believe the writer's name was Satire Penman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, is the word. Was. All right. Happened in Brooklyn on Flatbush Avenue, crossing the street, hit by a bus. The B-35, I believe.
Wow, that is tragic.
I know.
That is a very tragic.
And that's why
and the B-35 too.
He cannot write for us. All right. You can find his body at the Cypress Hill Cemetery.
Damn.
Oh, he died.
Wow.
Yeah, he died.
That's deep.
Right?
I didn't know it was that deep.
Yeah.
Well, he died like his writing.
Ooh.
Oh,
Some
whoa. His writing was not that bad.
Well,
it wasn't that good either.
Guess, since he's gone,
wasn't that good either.
Not much else to say on that one.
Wasn't that good either.
Well, rest in peace, man.
Son. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Satire.
Yeah.
Satire Penman. Satire Penman.
No. Oh, so now it gets dark and everybody wants to get quiet?
Yeah, we got to give a moment of silence. We didn't even know the dude died.
Charles,
we
you
just
said
thought
off
he
just
left.
now, so
And don't think that I run around just killing people off the show. That's not my MO.
No, that is your MO.
Yeah, it is actually.
You literally quote unquote killed me. So that's how you got Jet.
I told you I didn't kill you. Hannibal came in with a memo saying that, you died in a tragic accident, but he didn't tell me it wasn't Seanluc. It was Sean. It was Sean.
Sean Paul, I think.
Sean, yeah, something like that.
So yeah, and then apparently you had this really hood person named Jet up in here. Then I met Jet at New York Comic Con.
Oh.
I don't know why you apparently this dude is stalking for another episode.
You have to bring him back.
No,
soon.
you are trying to get him on another episode. Nobody else wants him on.
Hannibal wants him on the show too.
Nobody cares about what Hannibal wants.
Clearly not.
Or any of these.
My wife? No, we're gonna bring him back soon.
That's why I like your wife.
Because that makes sense.
So yeah.
Have you heard of Jet?
Not. I'm actually very curious about Jet.
Yeah. By all means, go back, check the episode with Jet, right? And try not to laugh too hard.
Yeah.
It wasn't a funny episode. It was a scary episode.
It was scary for you because Jet was a very intimidating individual.
Jet looks like you.
Okay.
He looks like you.
All right.
He just looks like you. He's intimidating. The way you intimidate me, the way you intimidate me with your eyes and the way they're glaring at me right now, you're making me feel real uncomfortable. All right.
Is that really are you sure it's not the eyes of seduction or anything like that?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's not fear. It's something else.
Oh.
I mean, it would answer a lot of questions.
Anyway, do we have any topics for this week that we could go over? Any questions?
He was the topic,
and we're over him. We're over him.
We're not over.
No,
we're over him.
Not.
Listen, you can't get mad at me for being a heel on the show if I'm the heel of the show.
Wow.
Yeah, see? Stating the truth. What are you looking at over there? Oh.
Yes. In actuality, I was looking for something else.
He's objectifying women over there.
And?
Oh.
What's the...
Anyway, Hannibal, you had some interesting questions before we started the show tonight.
I did?
Yeah, you did.
I threw out my questions already.
Oh, about relationships and shit like that?
Well, we already threw that out there. If you found someone, you're going to leave.
Did I answer that question?
No, you did. You went start talking about how
so I didn't answer that question. All right, no, if I found somebody, I wouldn't leave. They just have to...
Nah, son, you had your chance. Nah, son. Nah.
Why?
My name is Jerome Ezekiel Thompson.
Why are you embarrassed?
Right?
Why are you embarrassing me in front of our beloved guest?
Jet, straight up.
Well, I just wanted him to get a preview of what Jet was like.
Why are you embarrassing me in front of our beloved guest? That was a horrible episode. I don't promote that.
He's the first guest, right?
Who? Jet?
Jet was.
Jet wasn't our first guest.
Who was the first
No,
guest?
he wasn't the first guest, but he was the most energetic. I'll give him that.
He's the first stand-in co-host.
Oh.
Yeah, he's the first stand-in co-host.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But it's okay. I think there's going to be a tragic accident to Jet coming soon. You mean
that tragic accident about him coming back
on Flatbush Avenue? Waiting for the B35 bus.
It's not the same bus.
It's gonna.
I know. Apparently, something's really wrong with that B35.
Just got my certificate working for the MTA.
It seems to be the Queens Boulevard of danger here in Brooklyn.
All right, so if that's it, Geektopians, this has been another episode of the G's for Geek podcast.
Hold up. You're not even doing it properly. Thank you. Even though
I was
my
doing that
co-host
intentionally.
here
I was done with him.
Kidnapped you.
I was done with him.
Gave you the false impression of what we were doing here.
I thought he was going to come on the show and shoot
I want to
shit.
thank you for coming on to the show.
You've been a great sport dealing with Charles' nonsense. Thank you.
Appreciate you guys for having me.
You're late. You were late today. All right. I told that beautiful ass to be here at 6:30.
Whoa.
All right. Well.
Whoa.
What?
Not wrong.
I told you I love JoJo. JoJo and me go back so far that what a lot of people don't know is when it comes to me growing Sketchfed Studios and seeing JoJo grow JC Universe Comics LLC. Did I say it right? Or JC Comics Universe. Thank you. LLC. Like JoJo is my inspiration. Like there would be no Sketchfed if it wasn't for me seeing like what he was going through to make his own LLC, what he was going through to build his brand.
Right.
And I go to him when I have questions, when I need feedback, whether if it's, business wise or if it's creative wise. So I love this guy so much that yes, tonight I did trick him to come over. I was like, hey, JoJo, what you doing? You want to come over and hang out? You know, we're just going to have a guy tonight. Just the two of us. And then when he walked in, I was like, ha, surprise. The guys from the G's for Geek podcast. So, but I do. I love you and I appreciate you. And I want to see your stuff grow so much. And I felt because definitely with you putting a lot of work into issue number 2 coming out, which I've seen you putting in the work on IG, and we're going to definitely make sure that we plug you as well. I felt like it was long overdue. We need to have you back on the show, even though I thought you was going to come on the show and shoot the shit with us, and you just really were just more of that chocolate mellowness that you are. Like, geez, it's like I need to get like...
We need security.
Right. Well, I appreciate
I need a Cosby
you for having me on the show.
That's a bad joke. I don't mean that. I don't.
You said Cosby twice.
I don't.
He said it in the beginning and then now at the end.
Oh, I'm Hannibal Buress. I don't mean that. You know.
He does mean that.
But
that's the worst part. So what? But, listen, check your cranberry juice. Make sure it's not spiked.
Oh, I did give you a drink tonight.
Shit.
Wait. All right. So anyway, thank you so much for being on the show. Where else? Once again, where can we find your stuff?
You can find it at jccomicsuniverse.com as well as Instagram, hashtag jccomicsuniverse. Once again, DeviantArt, Tumblr, Facebook, Twitter, just pretty much everywhere, every form of social media that you could think of.
Okay,
awesome, man.
Sweet.
So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of the G's for Geek podcast. I'm your host, Charlie Radio Williams.
And this is Seanluc.
And as always, we are out of here.
That's out of here.
Out of here.
That's cool.
Oh, okay.
The G is for Geek podcast with Charlie Radio Williams and Seanluc is a presentation of Sketchfed Studios, produced by Charlie Williams and edited by Hannibal Darby. To find more episodes of the G is for Geek podcast, make sure you check them out at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and wherever else your podcast needs. If you need to hear Charlie Radio Williams and Seanluc shoot the shit on any of your topics or questions, please send a tweet to the two geeks on Twitter, or you can send a message on Instagram for the Geektopians. For web series, podcasts, blogs, and more, please make sure to head over to sketchfedstudios.com. And as always, stay geeky, stay you.